What attracted me to the fixed income markets is knowing that I would be part of an industry where I would never be bored. There was always going to be news flow or policy shifts where I could use my knowledge as an economist to make a real difference to client portfolios.
Well, I was a math geek and an actuary before I discovered Wall Street, so my early successes as a bond trader were really attributable to just being passionate about math and the markets and solving problems and really thriving on the trading floor. Fast forward to today, I would say my success is really attributable to the experiences that I've had, decades in the markets of fixed income. I've committed capital through many macroeconomic cycles, and I've also lived through many crises. So I would say these experiences are really foundational to the role that I'm in now, overseeing $2.5 trillion in fixed income assets for Vanguard's clients.
I ended up in this industry by accident. I was studying public policy, but my specialty was sovereign debt. So the intersection between macro policy, geopolitical risk, all of this affects fixed income markets, particularly now. There's just been more focus on a slew of announcements that have come out and how we analyze them. So my love for policy and interest in geopolitics were something that are very applicable to the fixed income markets. I attribute my success to being able to take an interdisciplinary approach where we look across fiscal, monetary policy, incorporate the geopolitics. We use quantitative metrics as well. So I think it's very important to have cross-asset knowledge and to also be interdisciplinary and take a multi-strategy approach.
I came to fixed income markets as an economist. So my route was through the Fed. I got my Ph.D. I went and worked at the Federal Reserve Board in Washington, and then I ended up working on Wall Street, first on the sell side, then on the buy side, and then I started my own firm. So economists obviously have a natural home in fixed income markets. I attribute my success to ambition. So I wanted to keep learning and succeeding and progressing in my career. And also I would say the ability and willingness to think outside the box. So I landed in fixed income markets ahead of the global financial crisis. And that required a lot of sort of reevaluation of our toolkit, what works, what doesn't work, what is going on. Then we had the pandemic. So you're always kind of needing to blend the toolkit you have with new things that are happening that you've never seen before. And I like to think I do that reasonably well.
I decided to enter the fixed income markets kind of on a lark. My older brother was an equity analyst, and we would have conversations about with equities decisions, it was largely our stock price is going to go up or down. And he had started as a high yield analyst and said, if you want to be really smart in the markets, look at bonds, because there's a lot of different aspects to determining valuation. I attribute my success in this market to always be willing to try something new and always wanting to learn from whatever position I'm in or opportunity that presents itself. I have had a couple of stumbles in my career, one during the great financial crisis, one on the aftermaths of that when my hedge fund closed. And it was always figuring out what path was before me, putting a lot of hard work and effort into whatever job I was doing and being curious, always looking to see on ways that I can improve my knowledge. And now from my position, it's how can I make our clients' lives better and leverage our expertise to help everyone.
A defining moment in my career was when I realized that being different was a superpower. I spent far too much time trying to conform and be like others. When I realized that my diverse perspective was valued, it was an aha moment for me. So in terms of advice, I would say it's been proven that diverse perspectives lead to better results. So I would say own it. You belong at the table, and the table needs you.
A defining moment in my career was my transition from the public policy side to the private markets. I recognized that I needed to increase my knowledge of the financial markets, and that motivated my shift.
A defining moment in my career was when I decided to start my own firm. And I had worked on the sell side, I had worked on the buy side, and really the catalyst was the Women's March. After the first election of Donald Trump, I went to the Women's March. It was so inspiring. I came back and I talked to my boss about spinning me out and letting me have an independent voice and helping support the formation of a new firm. So it was a big leap of faith. It was terrifying. I spent all my savings. And 8 years later, it's worked out really well.
3 words on how to succeed in fixed income: be an expert. It breeds credibility and confidence.
3 words I would share in how to succeed in fixed income are fill the gap. Fill the gap in your own professional knowledge, in your own experience, and also look to fill the gaps in what the industry needs.
So the advice I would give to someone entering the fixed income markets is to be curious. Always question why things are happening and try to understand the full picture. As with any market, especially right now, nothing is quite as it seems. And it's that curiosity and drive that really sets apart those that have successful careers and those that are missing opportunities.
What I would recommend to people coming into the fixed income industry is to always invest in yourself. We're constantly building our own brand, and think about our jobs and our career as more than just what we do every day, but who we know, how we think, and what we learn. Markets are always changing, and we have to as well.